Wreck. Wrecking. It's wrecking. Let's wreck this. It's FwooshCast time. Already. Again.
I need a nap.
Can you believe it? Once again, less than a month later, we are back for a new edition of the FwooshCast. But like before, we're recording very late at night because that's what we tend to do. So
that's how we do it.
We put on a cup of Joe.
After a day full of hunting,
toy hunting,
your stomping ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finding some good stuff with some pretty good luck, but
just real quick, Marvel Legends wise, we're talking about Marvel Legends. Found the AIM pack at GameStop.
Yeah, found the new
on sale
vintage Scarlet Spider.
Even though we got the set from Dorkside Toys, found a opener or a carded version of Scarlet Spider.
Wait, but let's circle back to the AIM pack. After all that grief that I got last time, he let that one go this time.
Yeah. Well, I found one.
Well,
I got mine down in my hometown.
Yeah.
For full price.
Go back to where you came from and get your own AIM, guys.
I paid full price a week ago, and then they went on sale this week.
And I got another one on sale. So.
For 25% off.
Here we go.
Yeah, so if you see it at GameStop,
get it because
it's not advertised.
Right.
It doesn't say on the tag, hey, I'm on sale.
Secret sale.
Yeah.
Tell them the Fwoosh sent you. Don't tell them that. They won't know what you're talking
they're
about. They'll probably kick you out of the store for being crazy. But anyway, we're probably going to go in chronological order as far as how these are being presented. But just a couple of days ago, you probably saw us talking about the new Marvel Legends Vintage Series 2. And we were so, I guess, inspired by that we're going to kind of have a theme for this FwooshCast in that what's old is new and what's new is old. And we're heading into the 80th anniversary of Marvel Comics in 2019.
And what better way to celebrate than to wish list it up?
We are going to wish list the hell out of this place because we've got new vintage figures and we've decided we want more vintage figures. And in classic Fwoosh fashion, we can't just accept that maybe we'll put together a wish list for the next vintage series. We've decided we're going to really get extra and overdo it.
Whole hog it.
And we're going to get pointed. Much like the mainline Marvel Legends series, and we're going to say, not only do we need we need Vintage Series 3, but we need to bust it out and get a little bit more specific with some
Spider-Man
characters like Spider-Man and some teams like
X-Men.
They're bananas popular right now, especially within the Marvel Legends line.
After a few years of drought.
Not a total hiatus, but a drought. So we decided we don't like ourselves, and we put together 3 series: one regular, one Spider-Man, and one X-Men that you are probably going to disagree with us completely about.
And it wasn't a quick list either. What have we been working on this for 5 hours?
Yeah, let me tell you. Minimizing tooling, which is pretty much the theme of this execution.
Mostly repaint and mixing and matching parts.
Right.
Yeah.
With very minimal tooling. That's hard as hell.
Yeah.
To get stuff together. So let's just start off with Hasbro. Kudos, because this wasn't easy.
Yeah, I can just see them sitting around a boardroom going, we only reuse, some repaints. You can cast it in swirly twirly plastic.
A tiny bit of new stuff maybe
here
that
and
can
there,
be
which
used.
we're gonna abuse a little bit.
Because darn it, these are great. I think they're popular, and it's time to start maybe pushing the envelope just a little bit to blow this out a little bit more.
We're not saying anything bad about Hasbro.
Not once, because we have 12 figures right now, and most of them work beautifully, just the way that they are with except you turn around with minimal amounts of tooling. But I mean, looking at this, you can only call out a handful of what I consider to be new parts on here, and otherwise it was done really well. So we're going to try to stay formulaically as close to that as possible, but we're going to...
we may stray a little bit
just a little bit
because of how hard it really... Plus, we're going by our own tastes in the Marvel universe.
Right.
You and I went back and forth a couple of times. This isn't going to be, you call something out and I'm going to shoot it down.
Right, like Zuckus.
You. Bring it up one more time.
One more time. Say it one more time.
But we've compiled a list. We went over it.
3 lists.
And we have similar tastes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
But it's kind of our taste, what we want, that we kind of came together to say this is a solid wave that fits this thematically as well. So it's mixed up a little bit.
Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
There's some picks that are like, oh, I really want that.
Yeah.
So
we made it work.
Yeah,
our
made
own
it
way.
work.
Yeah.
So what do you want to start with?
I think maybe we start with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because to me, I think this was the easiest list for us to put together because the parts and the characters and things are right there. And Spider-Man, if these were to hypothetically come out in 2019, the 80th anniversary of Marvel, you can talk about popular characters or whatnot, but Spider-Man's probably the Marvel flagship character, so we might as well give him the honor and go.
Before we get into the actual list we came up with, though, there was somebody on the list, and why did we throw him off the list?
Who did we throw off?
The Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
Which I don't totally hate the Green Goblin that came out with recently, but he could be more
a classic head.
Yeah. But because of that, and maybe some parts and pieces here that would need to be changed or new, we didn't put him on the list.
Yeah.
Because it was too much new.
But he would have been perfect for this.
Yeah. He would have anchored it. But now to get into the actual list of repaints and minimal new
and
tooling.
Since we didn't customize all of these to bring him out here, we just have what's here before, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Through movie magic on this guy right here. He's going to throw up pictures of what we're talking about here. So it's not just, imagine, if you will, the look of this character.
Even though if you're watching this,
you better know
you probably know what we're talking about. Yeah.
All right, so have the honor. How are we going to start?
First
with
off, we'll
Spider-Man
anchor the wave. It's a Spider-Man
wave.
You gotta have
a
Spider-Man.
You got to have Spider-Man.
Yeah. And you don't want to stray too far from the basic classic design of Spider-Man, which we got in Wave 1 with.
And I don't think you want to get too deep into the Spider-Verse because they're holding to that so well in the mainline Legends
mainline, they're basing lines off of it. They're adding to the mainline. This is for somebody that may want just a slightly different Spider-Man. So we're going to go with Spider-Man, but instead of blue, he'll have black. Black and red Spider-Man. And it's just a repaint.
Yeah.
It's just,
and it's got kind of that edgier, modern feel to it, but it also kind of feels classic first appearance-y. And as well as blue and red go together, there's a reason why blue and black, or black and red. Jeez,
you beat the hell out of Spider-Man now.
God. It goes together on so many costumes because black and red just look so good together.
Yeah, I mean, they went back to it. Well, it's a modern look with the superior Spider-Man is black and red. I'm sure that other modern renditions of Spider-Man, it still feels classic while being updated.
And honestly, I think it fits into this well because if you got just a repainted black and red Spider-Man in a vintage series, it's like, you know what? That makes sense for this line. I think if that was kind of maybe cheated into a mainline Marvel Legends series, you might be like, this leaves a little bit to left to be desired.
Feels a little cheap. But on a vintage card, with that black and red Spidey art on the card,
look good.
Delicious.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what?
Next, this is what I would consider to be a straight up easy pick, and there's no level of effort when it comes to putting it together, and it is Elektra, based off of the relatively new Elektra that we got, but in white costume.
It's classic color swap.
We've
seen it several times.
Throw it back to Toy Biz.
Twice.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that in the old 5-inch line?
Yeah,
they went from red to white to Psylocke.
Yeah. And then in Marvel Legends, the
box set was white. The main line was red.
Yep.
Did we see that again?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And now is the time.
Now Psylocke.
Yeah. Psylocke.
Red Elektra. They don't reuse the same parts, thankfully.
Right.
But all the parts are there. That's a beautiful figure.
I love
Elektra.
that figure.
It's awesome.
It's straightforward. it's an integral version. It's a very important version of Elektra in, you know, her mythos, Daredevil's, Bullseye's, everybody's.
And we have plenty of Daredevils to stand another Elektra. If you have a Daredevil on the other end of the shelf, put a white Elektra with your black and red Daredevil.
That black and red Daredevil's cool.
Even though I don't have any frame of reference for it, I love the wraps.
They look
the
great.
Color. Yeah, it looks great.
And just take that that SPDR Elektra, turn the red to white, done. That's it.
No.
That's a gimme.
Another beautiful card. Yeah. Elektra in white on the card. Contrast, perfect. Gray.
A perfect. Looking at these, that is a perfect entry into this type of execution. Yeah. So, yep, Elektra. Let's do it.
Next would be... Oh, yeah. In fact, if they don't do it, I'm going to be like,
why didn't you do it?
Yeah, I told you. Next would be... I don't have anything really against the Shocker we got, but it needs a classic version.
We need a classic version.
Yeah. And I hate to put it in this line. I kind of stumbled with this one because in my brain I picture Shocker.
I'm with you.
He looks padded. He looks like my bed mattress no longer has a cover on it because I made a suit out of it.
Right.
But it wasn't. A lot of instances, it was just lines on a costume.
Right. And
there you go.
And we've got Captain America the same way in this line. The new classic Loki.
For all the complaints it's getting.
I don't mind it.
No.
But that patterning, that patterning is done in line. And honestly, I think everything else is pretty much there.
Yeah.
For him to be able to, because the one we got's he's got the Deadpool, what I call the Deadpool eye.
Winky eye.
The winky eye going.
But I'm sure, is it sculpted like that, or is it just painted?
I think it's just painted that way.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be fixed. It's got the gauntlets, some paint fixes here and there. Maybe come in with a boot cuff.
And foregoing the classic Goblin, due to it being maybe a little bit above grade as far as this goes, it really makes you want to have a version or two of modern Spider-Man foes that we've gotten in a more classic style. And he's one that came out that, to me, we got it. It cheats close enough, but it's like
it needs that extra
I want that
punch.
Classic
because isn't that Superior Foes?
Yeah.
Shocker. No, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. That's what it is. Yeah.
And it's a modern take. It's definitely Shocker, but that classic kiss right there needs.
He gives us enough to make this one easy enough, I think, to put into here. Yeah. And Hasbro doesn't need to use another mainline Legends Spider-Man series on Shocker.
Right. So, it's been done.
Yep.
Don't go back.
Yep. Okay. That's a good one. So the next one, this one we kind of surprised ourselves with this one because I was trying to list this out a little bit for the last week or so. We'd been talking a little bit about it. This one did not even come into conversation until we sat down and really wrote down, okay, we're going to go with this list for this. And this may be a little bit out of left field, but again, for this line, I think it's perfect. And we're going to continue the strong theme, I think, of the symbiotes that we have been getting and go with Agony.
Yeah, I wasn't in for Maximum Carnage or wherever all the symbiotes showed up in all these versions. But damn it, if I don't like Scream out of the Venom wave.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I still haven't opened my Lasher. We did that here.
Almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It was like February.
Yeah. And I liked Lasher and stuff. I just haven't opened my set yet because symbiotes, you know. Right. But I opened Scream and her hair that looks like webbing. Yeah. With the old McFarlane webbing and stuff. It's a female body, some claws, some. But that in purple and black,
it's gonna look even better.
Yeah,
or even because Agony kind of like at times I think she almost went to a hot pink instead of purple too in the comics, and it's like I'll take either one.
Yeah.
That look cool.
So put it here, and if you want to use a filler next, later.
But really, I don't think it's cheap to say that you can just straight up repaint Scream and you've got a perfect Agony for that, and it continues the symbiotes because I'm like you, I'm not really into it, but now. With Legends has made me more into them. And it's like, I want to see more of these just continue on with their different colors and shapes and things like that. It looks cool.
I said recently, I'm a sucker for different color variations
Yeah.
on the same thing. And why I never got into Power Rangers, I don't know.
didn't
But
either.
seeing that on the show, now that we've started the crew, I want to finish the crew.
Yeah, and
I
there's
want
lots of
Riot
them.
and
Yeah,
Phage and-
Riot could almost fit into something like this, but when we said Agony, it was like she's perfect for this. Yeah. So Agony, good,
Agony,
good pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we're going to go a a little bit more classic again, coming around. You could
we've
probably
got
see it.
to, mister.
Yeah. And this one's going to require some.
It's not going to require any more than
That. Yeah.
what happened
wait.
here.
Is that there?
No, I think they're different. Yeah, that wouldn't fit on there. Would it?
Those are the same.
Are they? The belt's not though.
No, the belt's not.
Belt's
Okay.
not,
How about
so,
that?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're going to use that excuse to throw a couple of new parts on Electro. A classic
Electro, because the modern one that we got, it's mostly there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the little lightning bolty things coming off the end of his forearm
And that's where we stumbled a little bit, thinking.
But that's slight enough, I think, that with the success that this line's already seen, maybe if this was like our hypothetical celebration of the 80th anniversary of Marvel, let's put a little bit more into it. Just get those gloves out there with splayed hands that don't have electric effects attached to them at all times, and that's all you get.
Yeah.
And then just
And a
the
couple
rest
of
of
fists.
it. Yeah, the rest of it, just use what has already what came with that modern Electro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there. The rest can be accomplished with paint.
It's mostly paint. But you want to make sure to match up the yellow to the yellow. Oh, where'd he go?
This guy. Vision.
Oh, he was over here. Man.
Yeah. So you get the splayed hand with that.
So if you want Electro with fists or throw in Storm's electrical effect,
yes,
that you could put over his arm.
You go with the effect this time.
Yeah.
Because that would be a reuse.
Then you can have a splayed hand, come back to Vision, fix that.
And here's my thing with the modern Electro. Even if that's a great version for you, because the look's not bad at all. Even if that's a great look for you and that's your preferred look, that's cool. But to me, the egregious thing with that figure is that you did not get a swap out for the hands.
Oh, yeah. So
he's always right here. Yes, I get it. That's his power. But even Eel got swap out hands.
And I was going to mention Eel because his hands actually look better on Electro.
Yeah.
You come back and put those there. It matches into the color scheme better.
Yeah.
But to put it in the vintage line, again, have a green and yellow character on the gray card looking badass on vintage. I'm going to keep going to that.
Yeah.
Age picture is going to look awesome on a vintage card.
Yep, I agree.
I just like the look. So coming around, another classic character, but...
This is a good one.
Yeah, I know. This is we saved our favorites for the last of each of these.
Yeah.
And this one, it's not a super popular character.
No, it's not. But he's got a toy history, and I think he's even got a little bit of a Legends history because it was like back in the Toy Biz days, especially. He's gonna come. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
Wasn't he teased at one point?
I think maybe he was. Yeah, like maybe he was painted up or something.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when it was, but finally for this line, let's get Spot. There's nothing to do.
It's paint.
There's paint. It's
and
paint.
sure,
That's it.
if he came in the main line, I would want some discs.
Sure.
Maybe to put somewhere.
Sure.
Have pop off hands that pop onto black discs.
Well, now, are you trying to talk me out of one?
well, no, or they could do that here.
Right.
But the discs would have to have new parts with pieces that fit the
Yeah.
forearms, and you'd have to change the pegs and all that. But for
But
just
it's
a
Spot.
base Spot,
It's Spot.
yeah, that's for customizing.
Right.
That's effects.
Right.
That's action.
Right.
For this, you just get what do we talk about? Just a basic body. Have
The medium build body. I don't know. Bucky, I guess, would work.
Yeah, and what
right?
was the head with just the eyes sculpted on?
Blizzard? Is it Blizzard?
Blizzard, Eel
would work. Eel, yeah.
Use that, or use a Spider-Man head that's blank, like
No,
those are
that's
sculpted on. Are
I
they?
think those both have a little bit of sculpting.
Do they?
To
There's
them,
a
looking at
Spider-Man
them.
head that doesn't
Yeah.
have anything on it. If you just want to put the rounds
Yeah,
with the eye painted on,
Yeah.
I think it either way would work.
It's Spot. It would be a new character because looking at this right now, what we don't see is a character that hasn't already been released in the line.
You know what else we
way.
don't? You know what else we don't see? Villains.
Bad guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And- and
we're embarking on some firsts here.
Yeah, because that's 3 for this Oh, 4 for this wave.
Yeah, but
I'm not looking at the floor. I'm looking at our list.
But that's the thing. This like kind of main vintage wave, this is varied enough that it can be all heroes. When you get into specific like Spider-Man, you got Spider-Man, and after him, he's got what people arguably say the best rogues gallery in the Marvel universe. So you got to get those guys in there.
Yeah.
And Spot, to me, with the minimal amount of required effort from a production standpoint, the fact that he is a somewhat obscure character, but he has a funny history.
Yeah.
Even if it's a non-history with Marvel Legends.
And a crazy power.
Yeah.
He'd
be a really fun figure to finally get. And again, like you said, black and white Dalmatian looking dude on the card. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It would stand out.
Yeah.
People would go, what in the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I already buy one carded.
It's a spot-on choice for this line. God damn it. I'm fired. I'm fired, and rightly so, because that's terrible.
Get off my set. But not out of your basement, because he owns the rest of it.
You can sleep outside.
Dang it. Now, we move on. That's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Done.
Now this is also ignoring rumors of vintage waves next year.
Yeah.
Because
we're just kind of doing this on our own.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just us thinking ahead. And if they announce a line, even better.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
This is so Spider-Man wave. We've heard rumors of X-type vintage waves. Another one of these waves.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go with vintage wave 3.
Vintage wave 3, and
Next.
the only reason why we're doing this is because we're going to make the people wait for what they want, and that's X-Men, right?
Well, I like the X-Men too. I think X-Men's might become my new favorite.
The anticipation is the best part, right?
We'll save that for last.
Okay, so let's go to Vintage Wave Series 3.
Vintage Wave Series 3. This was kind of tough.
This was the biggest struggle that we had out of all of them.
Yeah. It was kind of hard to pick characters, and then characters that work in the confines of the vintage wave.
Right.
But this one kind of...
This is where we get to a little bit more of an expansion of... Let's start to see a few new parts.
Few new parts and kind of moving... Well, it's kind of like this. At least my first pick,
a little bit
would be, it's the main character, but it's a different look.
Right.
It's a secondary character.
And for something like this, just with any other Marvel Legends wave, is you need an anchor, right?
Yeah.
And so if you look at the vintage wave, well, anchors. Let's see, we've already gotten Captain America,
right.
We've already gotten Iron Man, and any variation of Iron Man at this point is a little tough to do because he's so damn modern in Legends,
and especially at this point, we need new sculpts for classic
Iron
Man.
Right, and then if you get into guys like Thor, you're not doing a Thor in this line. It's
No.
way too hard. Hulk the same way, he's too big.
Yeah.
So.
Let's rotate back around to Captain America.
There we go.
Why not make... I know we've had the character before in the line, but I think he was wrong.
Okay.
Wrong body, wrong size.
Okay.
And that's U.S. agent.
U.S. agent.
We need a U.S. agent.
That is built like this dude.
Because a lot of people complained about this Captain America head not looking like Steve Rogers. To me, that's Johnny Walker. That's John Walker.
Yeah.
That's U.S. agent, the second... Or, Captain America. So that in black... In the U.S. agent, but then when we sat down and looked at this figure, I didn't realize the A was
the
sculpted
one
on
time
the
that it's like, I wish this wasn't sculpted.
yeah. But U.S. agent has had a lot of looks. He's had more of a military look. He's had the scales. He's had the wings. He's had
the wings imply, just like Captain America.
Yeah.
It's like they're painted on.
Yeah, they're not always sticking out. So we're not going to go with a fully classic U.S. agent.
Because we did get that even if it was on the wrong body. We pretty much got the fully classic U.S. agent already.
Yeah. Even though he's small for John Walker. Maybe, I guess it would be small for the captain too. But we can use the Secret War Captain America head. Paint
because that's still got kind of a dour face to him,
Yeah,
and that
crazy
head fits on the bigger body that you want
I think it's this body, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that body... U.S. agent colors, Secret War head,
and done.
Wings painted on.
Yeah, which
and I have no problem with that.
Okay.
It's just a different version of John.
Yeah, but he's Captain America adjacent enough that it's like, there's your anchor,
still look
because
at it.
you're still looking at
dude
Captain
with a shield,
America.
Buccaneer boots.
Yeah.
It's Captain
Cap.
America-ish.
Ish. Yeah. That's a good choice.
Yeah. And I just love that design.
Yeah.
Always have.
Yeah, it's a good look. And
again, black, red, white, gray card. Beautiful on the vintage.
So what was in Spider-Man is also in the main vintage Wave 3 anchor U.S. agent. I think that's a solid choice.
And let's this one isn't super different, but it's different enough to make it.
It's different enough, and again,
it's
right, and it's kind of like, well, I guess it's kind of like Elektra. From that one is that I think characters who are featured prominently in the MCU movies, they need to be kind of cycled in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we have gotten a comic Scarlet Witch. I have to say, I really like that comic Scarlet Witch. But I think maybe it's time for a refresher on her. And really, I think that they could do it easily and make it just a little bit different by getting rid of the flesh open costume, going pink, and going with what I would consider to be a more classic Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. With that simple change.
Because people can talk about, she had boot cuffs or, gloves that kind of came up. Yes, but there were also classic versions of her that were just kind of, the smooth all the way up, but it transitioned. I miss the pink up here on the figure that we have, because I like the red and pink together, because nobody else has that.
Right, exactly.
So it's like that needs to be carried out a little bit more.
Now, did that figure have heels?
It did. So let's get rid of the heels.
Yeah, let's get rid of the heels.
Let's get rid of the heels.
Pain in the ass on an action
so
figure.
let's get rid of the heels on that. Put some pink on there. I think the mask is close enough. It's no more egregious than this Hawkeye mask for this one. Let's get Wanda back out there, because she is very important to the MCU. So she's got a lot of brand recognition.
She's important to the Avengers.
And she fits the era of this kind of style of card really well too.
And that fits into, I don't think you could go back that far to Cap's Kooky Quartet.
Yeah, that's a little far back.
It's a little bit after that, but it would work.
She would go well with this Hawkeye and Vision,
Or even, again, Brotherhood. That's even further back.
That's further back, and she'd need like the more like full face mask around there for that.
But this works for
we'll
classic.
save that for the library. But this but this would work well. That version would work well for this line.
Yeah,
I think. Okay.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah. And I don't know. I hate throwing these out, because now I want them, and I'll be disappointed
if we don't get them. So we're going to get our hopes up that the line, this is exactly what's going to happen. But it's not.
Because this next one, as much as I like the figure we got, it's cool.
It's really
armored,
cool. It's very
modern.
Different.
And I don't think they've used that body again. But let's take that and put it on a pre-existing body, and let's get a more classic looking Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yep. Yeah. So the figure that came before, as far as I'm concerned, used that collared cape and the head. Perfect.
Put it on
I would say it's just the X-Men series Magneto body. And I think that body would be okay for Moon Knight. I think even the boots from that Magneto are close enough with the kind of like bands to them that you could cheat that in for Moon Knight. You could throw that kind of generic belt like the Hydra guys.
Yeah. With some pouches.
And maybe you could paint the little crescent moon on there. I know that's cheating.
I'd be okay with that, but I'm kind of also just good with put the crescent on the chest. Yeah, that's Moon Knight. Yeah, all white. Yeah, it gets lost anyway. So I'm good with. I always thought of him kind of plain, and figure wise, the old Toy Biz one, it kind of lost itself in the colors.
It did, and even then, I think Toy Biz kind of had that same thought that you did, that all that white is pretty plain, because he was anything but white.
Yeah.
There was that dark kind of pearlescent, and then there was the lighter version, but it wasn't straight up white. So really, we haven't had a straight up white version of Moon Knight to this point. So.
No shading, no nothing. Just go for straight white, and then the black inside. Do the inside of the hood black.
Right.
So you don't have that contrast.
If maybe they wanted to try to do some effect like what they did with Panther here, I wouldn't be terribly upset with that. But
or some pearl, like Wasp's legs? You want to go pearl or just?
I don't think I'd want to. I don't think I'd want it to skew to that almost like
Shine.
pinkish. Yeah, but.
Oh well, no, not the pink. Her legs. Are,
her legs.
Her
Yeah.
legs are
Yeah.
ivory.
That would work. That
Yeah.
kind of ivory-ish color. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of contrast against the matte black of his face and stuff, because they didn't do any shading on Punisher and stuff.
he looks awesome.
Yeah, and it works out well. Mm-hmm. So even if they went with white paint over or cast in white, I'd like to see it. I'd give it a shot.
But it's a classic version of a character that we got a really strong modern version of. It's not having to get him back into the main line. And I think he works here.
And you know what else? White character on a gray card. That look beautiful.
It's like the car that color combination was meant for.
I think at this point anything's going to work on that vintage card.
Right.
It's just so nostalgic.
Yeah.
So pick a character, put it on that card, and I'd probably
and the cleanness of the design of it all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Moon Knight. Let's do it. Okay.
Now let's go back around to what is going to be in the forefront of a lot of people's eyeballs and minds next year.
Yeah. So there's a little movie coming out in March.
Sometime next year. Never get specific.
Early next year.
This is YouTube.
Sometime early next year, before Avengers 4, Captain Marvel movie is coming out. So Captain Marvel is going to be in the hopefully hearts and minds of a larger audience starting with that movie. So I think getting her into this line, much like kind of like Black Panther. In this one,
and we've seen a lot of Black Panthers this year, or the past couple of years, which is awesome,
right? But we've had Captain Marvel or Carol in several different costumes. We've had her Warbird, we've had her kind of more modern costume. We already know the MCU version of the figure is coming, but for this, something that we would be able to minimize paint or new parts on is going for the Dark Avengers Miss Marvel version of
which
Captain
is
America.
Moonstone in the old school Miss Marvel costume with the shorts and the all that, but with the long hair,
with the long hair, not the kind of like feathery 70s hair.
Which would be cool, but
that's some new parts,
that's some new tooling, and
we're kind of running up our dollars for something else.
But this would totally work because, one, we have the Moonstone already with the nice hair. But if you wanted to use the Warbird head, body all together, I like that figure.
Yeah.
Or if you want to use the Jean Grey, the Dark Phoenix out of the 2-pack.
It's a little skinnier.
I'd probably lean towards the Moonstone or the
me too, because Captain Marvel's
Warbird. Just a little bit of definition.
Kick your butt.
Yeah. And with the long hair, you come along, you paint on the costume, the skin, put a mask on the face, and
it's pretty easy, actually.
You have it. And if they, did want to spend a little extra money, throw in the classic Farrah Fawcett short
it would take a head.
And but if not, people have been asking for more Dark Avengers. We have Ares. You could fit Symbiote Spider-Man in there. The other Hawkeye now can be Bullseye in that costume.
That's true.
Iron Patriot. We still need a couple more, but
that would be a step there. But they would use a character that would be very much in the forefront of thought, and the color scheme and the patterning on it, I think, is going to be close enough to get the reference from the MCU version to be able to say, "I know you.
That'd be cool.
Let me buy you." Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Two.
Because that would look beautiful on the card back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm annoying myself at this
point. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say, hey, you just wait a minute. I want to do 2 in a row here because I want you to have the last one.
And I know you want this one, so go for it.
So, 2019, it's the 80th anniversary of Marvel. So it's almost beautifully symbolic that if the news reports are true, which we all hope they are, January of 2019, the full completion of the 20th Century Fox and Disney deal is going to be done. Which means, to Marvel fans, at very least. X-Men, Fantastic Four. You
Hopefully.
are, hopefully,
Yeah.
you are here now. You are a part of the family. There's not the weird licensing rights thing. Okay, these guys can only be in, one store, or you guys can only be in one series together, and we can't mix and match. So this is kind of going with, this would be a nice way to introduce this, that I think a fantastic addition to this would be Human Torch. A fantastic addition would be putting a painted version of the original Human Torch in this line. With the black lines, not clear candy.
Paint them red.
Paint them red.
Black lines.
Yep, and do some, different, color, like yellow and
The orange
and stuff.
for the fire and stuff.
For the fire and stuff, with the blank face. We're talking about a little tooling here, but then you could include the Walgreens.
Whoa, stop. In case anybody missed it, you're talking about Hammond.
The first appearance. Yeah, Hammond.
Not,
the original
not
Human
Storm.
Torch. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Just to clarify.
Yeah. Hammond, Human Torch, original Golden Age. It's the 80th anniversary of Marvel. Cap, Human Torch, Namor. Those are your big ones, or original ones there.
Yeah.
So he would be, I think, perfect for that with the blank face, and then repaint the Walgreens Johnny Storm head, stick that in the card, and then you've got people buying 3.
Yeah, because want to update to the Walgreens Johnny Storm translucent.
Not everybody loves it.
Yeah, the head
not
doesn't quite
everybody loves
match
it.
the body. It's a bit orange. And I understand it's a head. It's on fire. It's not realistic. So I mean, we have no frame of reference here except for the comic art.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't match, and it throws off my eye. And I'm like, that old school Johnny Storm look where it's red.
The Kirby fire effect.
Yeah.
It makes sense in a lot of ways, and it's symbolic in a lot of ways, because if the merger completes and Fantastic Four is on the table now for maybe the larger Marvel Legends line, he's one of the original 3 oldest Marvel characters.
No, you're talking about Hammond, right?
Hammond, right.
Is it Fantastic Four, or would that just be Marvel?
That's just
that
Marvel.
Has nothing to do with...
That's just Marvel. I'm just saying that all the pieces kind of fall together here to get
okay.
Human Torch into this line with the anniversary, the Fox thing, and the fact that having a new head and including the Johnny Human Torch head, then you're buying 3 of them, right? So, carded Hammond. And probably what torch. Many people would consider to be an upgrade to their Johnny Storm Human Torch.
Yeah. Again, we're cheating a little bit with the new tooling. But really, it's a blank face with some fire on top. Yeah. Or, I don't know. I wouldn't want just a blank head, no fire, painted red with black lines.
Yeah, because I think it'd be harder to swing back around to get another Hammond in the line. So you kind of have to do it the right way.
But either way, I'd be down for that.
So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's why it's there.
But it's not as good as it. Well, okay. I can't say it's not as good. I mean, that would kick ass on the classic
You just
front.
do your thing, because I'm gonna pour me
you're getting that face, aren't you? Where you're gonna turn and go, "You're stupid."
No, I'm gonna say I think this is a crazy ass pick that I really love.
Yeah. Because they're kind of heading that direction. They've been
building
kind of teasing us
You're right.
a little bit with Night Thrasher in the Kingpin wave.
Right.
So Night Thrasher makes me think, oh my God, we need Robbie. We need a Speedball.
Speedball.
Yeah. Which is another new head.
It is.
But otherwise, it's a reused body.
It's this. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be okay with this lanky body. I don't like it for Hank.
Yeah.
I would love it for Speedball.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think of. I think of a lanky dude bouncing all over the place. We need the head with the goggles.
Yeah.
We need the hair going crazy. Again, fire looking, but it's hair.
But it's hair. Yeah.
Going up. And that would be it. Paint all the little designs. It'd be intricate. It'd be a lot of tempo. It'd be a lot of paint work.
It would.
But, man... People have been asking for Speedball forever.
And his crazy-ass color scheme on that card again.
It'd be beautiful. Yeah. It's just, and it continue. It seems like they want to do New Warriors. Isn't there a TV show coming that they could tie into? Somewhere?
I don't have TV right now. So I don't know.
You know of TV though, right?
What's this TV of which you speak?
You mean that moving picture box? I see that from time to time. It would be cool. It'd go with Night Thrasher and a Speedball. Would, of course, would make me want Nova and Namorita and Firestar. But we'll talk about Firestar here in a little bit because that ties in. The Speedball. Yeah, that's my last pick. It wouldn't anchor the wave, but it'd probably be my favorite of the wave.
So, saying that, we acknowledge that a vintage... So if you look at these guys who are on the table now, we acknowledge that a vintage wave of U.S. Agent, Scarlet Witch, Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, Human Torch, and Speedball is a little bit more off-kilter than
the mainline characters of this.
But it's awfully fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun. Really diverse.
But really, now that I think about it, I'm sitting here. Speedball seems like he goes in the main line. You
think so?
But where? Well, of course, they put Night Thrasher in a Spider-Man wave, so maybe he's adjacent to Spider-Man.
I could see them not wanting to put someone like Speedball in this line because, from a character perspective, he could easily get into the main line.
But that also makes me think, Night Thrasher in a Spider-Man wave, why didn't they do Rocket Racer? And then put Night Thrasher in a, not that I'm griping about getting Night Thrasher.
I'm going to get on the Hasbro phone here.
Call Mr. Hasbro.
Mr. Hasbro.
Yeah. No, but it makes, again, that's questioning, that sounds like I'm complaining about getting a Night Thrasher. But I also want a Rocket Racer.
Yeah.
Which kind of fits that same kind of theme.
And I want a Starfire.
Starfire? Yeah. You want a Starfire?
Firestar.
Are we flipping to DC now? Is that where we're at?
I never really got a good Starfire. I want a Firestar.
Yeah, Firestar. But we'll get to her in here in a second.
It's late.
We're not getting to her in a second.
No,
but
we're not.
We'll talk about her again. Because next, we did the main line of this. We did Spider-Man. We got to talk about some X-Men. And this is where the rumor mill's already in, that there's going to be some kind of X-Men, X-Factor, something next year.
We want to get in before the likely
and there's already reveal. Characters being rumored for this line and stuff.
Really?
We're ignoring that. Yeah, I know. I when the rumors are that far ahead, and Hasbro can, it's like, let's change it up.
Yeah.
I don't pay too much attention because, again, that makes me want stuff. And I know it's detrimental in the long run to the overall fandom of rumor lists getting out there and people going, well, what happened to Big Guy in Pants? Or
thank God.
Shut up.
That never showed up.
We're not getting into the strong guy thing again.
No, we're not, because I refuse to talk about it.
But I think overall, the focus goes past what we're actually getting at the point. We get it, and it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
And sometimes I like to stop.
We made
and
a meme about that.
So let's talk an hour and a half about wishlisting stuff that hasn't even been announced
and it's not going to
happen. And then we'll get back, and then I'll play with toys later.
Yeah.
Actual rumors going around the forums and stuff like that, I try to ignore.
We did not take any of that into account.
No, this is just a fun wish list type thing. But X-Men is near and dear.
Yeah, so, and honestly, I think out of the three lists, this one's the best one.
Oh, well,
even if it wasn't X-Men,
because it's X-Men.
But still, I think it's the best one.
Okay. Because how would you start? I'm starting. It is Cyclops. Because I want more Cyclops. But at the same time, oh man, and I know they won't do it because they seem to have committed themselves to the Bucky Cat body for Cyclops.
Yeah.
I super want to see Cyclops on Spider UK. It's not that much bulkier, but it's a little bit taller. It's still a little bit slim, but it's bigger.
Slim.
See, that's where I went. But it's taller, like Cyclops is supposed to be. So, perfect world, I want a Spider UK painted X-Factor Cyclops, the white and blue costume.
But for this, would Bucky...
But Bucky, because of the Buccaneer boots, the Captain America thing, it would work
better. The classic Cyclops that already came out in the 2-pack with Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
Painted up.
Well, did he come with glove cuffs?
Okay,
it would be the 5-pack of original X-Men had the glove cuffs,
Oh,
had the
okay.
boot cuffs.
Yeah.
But take the Cockrum head from the Dark Phoenix 2-pack, put it on this one because that's a superior looking
Yeah.
90s,
Yeah.
late 80s type head right there.
Yeah. So
And
X
Factor, white X, blue.
And-
I wouldn't turn down the yellow X.
No, but the
man,
white and blue, that's the throwback to Toy Biz too.
Yeah,
you know,
they're-
because
that variant.
when they
that was terrible. The little thin, no, and the big ass boots.
yeah,
big ass gloves.
and they look dirty. Oh,
yeah,
that was
yeah. Have you been in the sewer? Slim?
yeah.
What have you been doing? I have not been crawling through the sewer to look in Gene's window. No.
Have you been in the sewer, mate? Because Wolverine talks in an Australian accent.
No. But even though, I haven't went back and read a bunch of the X Factor.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared. It's
It's
like going back and watching.
easy peasy. It's
Yeah. But at the time, in junior high, ignoring teachers, reading X Factor.
Yeah, the math
those were
book
the days.
open, reading
Yeah,
X Factor.
yeah. Or in the auditorium, during everybody's practicing for the play, I was reading X Factor. And those stories, well, I don't remember a lot of the stories, but I remember the feeling.
I seem to remember this guy named Cyclops,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think he'd be good for this series.
I think I went to school. But yeah, white and blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he would be a good
start.
anchor.
Yeah, it's Cyclops.
Yeah.
It's not Wolverine.
No.
But it's still Cyclops.
Right.
I mean, he's a good anchor for a wave.
But he may not even have to be the anchor for this wave because
No,
I'm going to
because-
let you go again.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, are we? Oh, you son of a...
Yeah, well, of course you're
I'll
gonna
let
go
you
next.
talk about that. Because, I mean, I kind of feel bad that we stuck this in this wave because
Yeah.
it's almost one of those things where they're going to put another Deadpool-themed wave out at some point.
Yeah.
It's just too good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people... Sure are sick of a Deadpool. Wolverine too, maybe. But Deadpool. So many Deadpools. You don't have to buy them all. But I buy them all. I love all that shit. I love the whole Deadpool thing.
So give the Robos what they want.
and that would be the blue and yellow X-Men costume,
Yeah.
Deadpool.
It's easy.
It's just, I mean, it's that Astonishing era.
Yeah.
It's that Cable and Deadpool era where things were just firing on all cylinders. And really, if you wanted to fudge it a little bit, it would pass as a Cyclops Astonishing. The piping is different. I understand. I know that. On the Deadpool, he had the utility belt top look on the outside. The piping didn't match. The color was a little bit more orange than yellow on the stripe. Maybe I just really want an Astonishing Cyclops, but I'm totally good with a blue and yellow Deadpool. And again, another popular character in a vintage wave.
And it's one that doesn't take anything.
Yeah. It's just a repaint.
Because we get a little, not spend happy, but we're stretching more with this one in terms of parts than the previous ones.
We're
And
using the easy stuff first.
So Cyclops and Deadpool, they kind of come together.
Popular characters.
Easy. Yeah.
And blue is awesome on the vintage card.
In case you forgot.
Yeah. But we need a little bit of purple.
And this, I think this is another good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our choice that we put it together because this is gonna solve for X. Not solve for X. This is gonna This is gonna solve a few things. Okay, because number one, it's gonna get us a no tooling cost variation in that uncanny.
Another one.
Right, another one.
This is our third in a row.
Yep, uncanny X-Force Psylocke in this wave. So essentially, it's just what we've gotten.
Yeah.
As far as Psylocke goes. And I mean, really, if Hasbro wanted to, it could be maybe we want to pick a different body for it, which would be fine. But the costume is all paint, right? The accessories, if the regular, like regular painted swords, I think, for her, not like the pink one.
Yeah.
Just like the regular painted katanas. But here's, I think, what would be the big draw to this right now. I say use the silk head for Psylocke this time because everyone and their uncle has used it for a custom before. Paint the hair purple. I think a lot of people actually prefer that as a Psylocke head over the one that we got in the Apocalypse wave.
And if you do like the Apocalypse wave Psylocke, no skin.
Right.
No, not a biggie.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you don't care about the, uncanny X-Force version of Psylocke, which I don't personally have a whole lot of attachment to either, but I'll take that head and I'll buy it for the head and swap it over to the
or you can put it with your. I don't know if they shared if it was that costume at the same time, because I think whenever Wade was on the team in his gray Deadpool costume, she was wearing a darker, like black variation of the Jim Lee costume.
Okay, yeah.
Which is now
that came out. Wasn't that that was in the X-Force box set from San Diego a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but how hard was that bastard to get? I never got it.
I didn't either.
So if you wanted a little leeway there, do X-Force, the first one, the black Jim Lee costume. I think I read that. I remember reading that series, but I don't remember. I should have researched that shit before I got in front of the camera.
And give Silk purple hair.
And then you have options. You can take the Apocalypse Wave Psylocke and put it on the X-Force head if you want, or body if you want to. Swap. It gives options.
Yeah.
Vintage line.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it works. Psylocke's been a character that's been getting a push lately anyway.
Yeah.
And
it's nice to see her out. Now, full tooling, and such. Let's get the British armored Psylocke,
but not for this line.
Yeah. Let's go with another ninja type.
That may solve that head problem that I think that a lot of people have.
Yeah, not pretty good choice.
Yeah,
if I do say so myself.
If we do say so, yes. Okay.
But let's come back around. You mentioned Firestar earlier. We did a Spider-Man wave. Let's not go quite X Factor, but let's get. This is another choice where I feel like this could easily go into the main line, but
it could.
But it could easily go in this line because of reuse and such. Right. And let's get an Iceman.
Class a
Jim Lee-ish.
A Jim Lee-ish that's maybe a little generic enough to maybe span some areas.
For Jim
here.
Lee, it's just the belt, right? With the little black X on the front. If you want a more classic one, cut the belt off.
Not this one, the other one.
No, it's just a plain little X.
Yeah.
It's very thin
It's
belt.
the other Wolverine, right?
It's still pretty thick though, huh?
Oh, maybe.
His is more like a strap.
Okay.
And I'm guaranteed somebody in the line. Yeah, with just an X painted on the front.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Have wait, where were we? For a head,
I think you got to
retool Vision.
You think
Is that where we're at?
I think we went new with this one, right?
A new head sculpt for just to get that. Vision's a little mean for Iceman. Archangel's a little bit mean.
And his mask is sculpted.
Yeah. So I want to
Blizzard doesn't work for him. So
yeah, I don't want a silly look.
No, but just a
generic type. Hey, I'm hanging out.
Yeah, and really Hasbro, what we're saying here is that more of a generic style, plain, no hair, head or whatever. There's got to be a lot of other uses for that later on.
Yeah, surely paint it up and get some other use out of it.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah,
like this, like the Wasp and Domino. Thing. So it'd take a little new tooling, but other than that,
something we didn't talk about though. Would you want it cast in translucent or you want just white with? I hate to say blue overspray.
Here's what I would say. I would go with the translucent version for this one because I'd save the white one for the Amazing Friends box.
See, coming back around to the Firestar. Yeah.
And Ms. Lion.
Yeah. We were going to put Firestar on a list somewhere, but that's too much. We're pushing the line with a couple of new heads per series.
Plus, I think she's going to be able to build herself up to be in a main line.
And if they don't do a 3-pack, they did it for the Universe line. They did it for the smaller line.
The only thing I'm not sure about that is that she is considered, I believe, legally considered mutant. Yeah. Along with Iceman. But Spider-Man is kind of not. So I don't know because of if they can put two, but if they're in the overall Marvel now and not the Fox thing, Spider-Man's been in box sets with other sets with other guys too. So we gotta have that
someday. Plus, Firestar feeds into the New Mutant,
right?
New Warriors.
So I would save the white Iceman for that.
Yeah.
And do this one because do this one with the translucency and then maybe like kind of the overspray like they did with the one that came in the Juggernaut series.
Yeah,
but
not that body.
But not that body.
That's let's get a nice generic.
Yeah.
built body.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, it would be kind of blocky.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. You think?
The only thing about this is it's got the
Costume lines on it.
or
Yeah,
whatnot.
we need
I'd have to think about it. But the fact of the matter is...
Let's not go here with
Yeah,
body.
no. There is a generic blank Marvel Legends body out there that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bare feet.
No bare feet.
No bare feet.
Round,
Yeah.
I mean, even
no eye spikes. No nothing.
No, none of that.
We're talking... And in perfect... Well, I mean, almost translucent. Put the white spray over it. And then you could strip it if you want, to get the translucent look.
Yeah.
But it requires some customizing. I don't like messing with acetone a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mess with plastic.
Maybe a box set later, or another Iceman. We just need an Iceman, really. A good, clean, classic Iceman.
Let's be frank here. We are rumbling. Frank, yeah. Let's be clear here. It is starting to become obvious that the Marvel Legends line is rumbling towards the completion of the Jim Lee / X-Men 1 team. There's still some holes to fill, but things are coming.
And some replacements, yeah.
Yeah, and some replacements. Things are coming fast with that. Spreading out the requirement to build that team into kind of a different subline, to me it almost is like that's kind of good from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Because that Iceman's essential for the gold team, right? Sure, you could put him in an X-Men line. It's freaking Iceman. Of course he would do fine. But it's like, well, this can help us blow out an X-Men dedicated vintage series with a figure that is essential to completing that team.
But really, aesthetically, very basic.
Right.
And it frees up a spot in the X-Men line later
for another Reaver that Dwight's going to get those guys out there, right? So.
And it adds to the vintage card, and it's almost a guaranteed sell to the people that are either buying doubles to keep carded or just like the cards, hang the cards, that kind of thing. And so it works on several
It's a multiple
levels.
Purchase figure. It really is. Yeah.
I just need, and I feel like we're really stacking the deck in the X-Men line though, because. Did I say X-Men or Iceman?
X-Men.
X-Men. We got Cyclops. We got Deadpool. We got Iceman, who's not seen as really an A-list anymore, I guess. You could say.
Right. But the first series of this, Spider-Man, Captain America,
that's true.
Wolverine,
that's true.
Iron Man, Black Widow, even.
And I guess you could say Avengers.
Yeah.
There. Let's X-Men first wave, stack it deep.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, what we got next?
The companion piece.
Yeah, and struggled with this one too. Just say it.
The X Factor Jean Grey.
X Factor Jean Grey.
X Factor
Miss
Jean
Marvel.
Grey.
Marvel Girl. Was she Marvel Girl?
it's Starfire.
Starfire. I think she was Marvel Girl.
Okay.
In X Factor.
Yeah.
If I remember right. Anyway, it's an easy.
It's a no nothing.
The Dark Phoenix body from the 2-pack.
Yes. Without the heels,
yeah. And then you have the hair.
The down hair.
Paint the mask on.
I thought I
And you have Jean. The reason I stumbled on this is I didn't, in the vintage line, this one, paint a mask on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to include her at first because we have X Factor Cyclops. It seems like didn't want to make it an X Factor line.
And we almost went with White Phoenix.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly acceptable too. I don't have a lot of attachment to White Phoenix. It's a cool look. We have a good Dark Phoenix now.
Yeah. We've got
a pretty good green
with this head.
Phoenix.
We've got a good green.
Yeah,
Phoenix,
except for the heels.
Except the heels. Yeah.
Which is I hang her on the wall. She's flying. She's floating. White Phoenix would fill that out. So I would be good replacing that.
Yeah.
In this. Our hypothetical X-Men line, replacing the X Factor Jean with that. But I really want the X Factor Jean.
Yeah, and era-wise for vintage, I like
that's about the sweet spot for that card.
Right, and I like the idea. I actually like the idea of having Scott and Jean together in a version that fits here, because even if we weren't ever to get any more of those, I guess at least you got them, and they are going to look great together, and boom, boom, all in the same wave.
Right,
and it's done, and it's all, and both of them are done with paint.
Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I know business-wise and at boardroom, it'd be like, we can't do that. They're too close together.
Yeah.
But in my heart...
But we've already condensed the theme of this line down into a sub.
Yeah.
So...
Because I don't see them... Well, I don't know. You never know what they're going to do next year. I didn't think they were going to release 1,800 figures this year either.
1,807, actually.
Yeah. See, I can't even keep count.
I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, can't speak for the company. Again, fun wish list type thing. Because we get to the next one.
Okay, so this may not be
my wheelhouse.
A huge pick for you. And actually, until this iteration of Legends, it probably wouldn't have been
It's
much
the damn
for me
situation of you give us good toys of a certain version, even
and
if
all
we don't.
of a sudden, I want the Jim Lee team finished as quickly as possible. And we talked about, Iceman's going to be essential for that.
Yeah.
A new Colossus is going to be needed. Beast, maybe Jean in her... ugly ass costume.
I think we need a redone, maybe ponytail.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fans of the Jim Lee era of comic books, but I think a lot of those fans were introduced through the animated series.
Right. So from a comic standpoint,
yeah.
If you get those guys done, technically,
okay, back up. I didn't care for the comic book. And that's where I got out of comic books. Like 4 issues in a Jim Lee. It wasn't really the comic book. It was graduating high school and all that. So I'm not too attached to that era, animated or comic style. But you give me good figures, and suddenly I'm like, oh, I got to finish out both teams.
But the point is, Marvel Legends, it may take a minute, but they're going to finish the comic blue and gold teams. Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen.
It's close. They're so close.
But that leaves a little hole in the hearts of those who... worship at the altar of so the animated
and you know where
team,
this is going.
You know where this is going. Who's left there but our friend, your friend, their friend?
Well, my acquaintance.
Your acquaintance. He's a friend of a friend of ours. Morph.
Yeah, animated Morph.
Animated Morph. Can we make that work? I think we can.
And the more you've talked about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I do need him standing, off to the side.
Sullenly kind of, it's me, Morph.
It's Morph. Yeah. Until he turns evil. Honestly, I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of the animated series.
I've watched a fair share. I appreciate the cartoon for what it is. The last time I watched it, I was still in that. I wasn't in this, holy shit, Marvel Legends is making the Jim Lee team look amazing, and suddenly I'm a bigger fan of them. I haven't gone back and watched it again since then, so maybe I would have a better appreciation for it now.
You know what? I have VHS tapes.
No. Do you have a VHS?
No, what the hell am I going to play VHS tapes on? I had my kid look at it one day and go, what are those?
Yeah.
Should have, kid. Yeah.
So, but how are we going to get there?
We are going to take the Jim Lee Cyclops
figure. Because all of the things were just hanging off of him.
We're going to remove the chest strap.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to take the Old Man Logan jacket and arms. If they fit. If they don't fit at the factory or without much customization. But if they do fit... You take that.
You could even do the jacket would fit over. You could do the multiple man arms because those fit.
Yeah.
Because that's on because he uses that same body.
Yeah.
So that would work.
But you need the jacket.
You need the jacket that's just a slip over.
Perfect world, it would be more of a thing, but
it's close. It's awfully close.
It's close. Give you Morph head.
It would need a new head.
Yeah.
It would need a new head to be more.
Looking at the Peter Parker. We tried looking at some other heads.
It doesn't work because really to me the thing that Morph has going for him the most in that cartoon is a very recognizable face.
Yeah. It's almost evil looking. And he's got that...
Well, it is eventually evil looking,
Yeah. And then the hair, coming over. Perfect world because you got to have the Morph head.
Yep.
Fit to the body. You have to have an evil morph head too, which
and I think for this is that you're going to have to accomplish that with paint.
Yeah, it'd have to be the same sculpt.
Yeah.
I mean, it to be in this line, same sculpt. You can't have the
But
evil
I think they
hair.
could do it. I think they could do it. You know,
Yeah.
I think because I mean, he literally in the cartoon, right, had black under his eyes.
Yeah,
you know,
and then his hair was more down,
messy and
kind
disheveled.
of that unmasked Clint Barton head from several years ago. The hair's kind of like that. I don't think they could use that.
Yeah,
But yeah, and then you throw in a Jim Lee Cyclops head. And
now we get it.
Yeah,
The strap isn't there,
yeah,
but the jacket is probably going to be closed enough to cheat it. Is that if you have the Jim Lee Cyclops head in there, number one, it's morph. Let's morph to look like Cyclops. But if you gotta have it, you gotta get the jacket.
yeah.
And the arms, then pop that head on. And if you have any customization skills whatsoever, if it's going to be using the same body, you can get the arms and jacket off and put it on your regular one.
Yeah.
With
Pop
the
it off,
with
put
the
it
strap
on.
on.
But they give you parts and pieces.
But it gives you a morphed head and a cheater Cyclops with the jacket on. As ridiculous as that is.
Yeah, but that was the look.
Yeah, that was the
so
look.
I mean, that would get another Cyclops look out of the way. Which, how many Cyclops we have on the shelf at this point? Quite a few, more than I thought we would.
It's
few
actually.
years ago.
I mean, I've never been the biggest Cyclops fan, but it's kind of cool that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not griping about it.
It's
just
kinda
one of
cool
those
how-
that I never thought we would have. That many Cyclops. Me, morph. Keeping with the morph thing, runner up. I would do Exiles morph. AOA
Blink
morph.
is coming out.
Yeah, because Blink's coming. There's a companion piece for that. You have the Madcap head from Deadpool. You put it on a generic body. You have this. Some glove cuffs. You have a cape. You have morph.
Yeah.
From there. So, but I understand the need for the animated morph, and I wouldn't gripe about putting them on the shelf.
But yeah, and here's the thing: is that when that Jim Lee comic team, Blue and Gold, is done, I think there's still going to be a lot of collectors out there that say, "If only Morph was here, and then my life would be complete."
Yeah,
it's getting that.
Maybe I don't know.
And I think it would be a struggle to get him in the main line.
That too. Vintage is a good place to kind of slip them in. Again, it's guaranteed more sales because of the carded collectors.
Right.
Because, that brown jacket, that yellow and blue, the kind of morph head would look beautiful on a vintage card. There you go. One more. I finished it off.
See, there it is.
Everything looked good on a vintage card.
Yeah.
So, and it's a complete set. If you're a completist when it comes to the cards.
Because at that point you've got all 14 members of the Jim Lee plus Professor X on, because it was 6 and 7.
I'm not
in
sure.
the comics. It was 6 gold, 7 blue because of Jubilee. And then Morph can go on the gold side and even it all out.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I've got nothing against getting the animated Morph. Yeah. It sounds like I'm trying to shoot it down. I was much more bigger fan of Exiles.
And that's fine. I think there's space in the line for that,
I slipped
too.
them in there at the end, the idea of it. But I wouldn't turn down animated Morph. Because I understand his importance to a lot of people.
Yeah, so, that's a we've got that kind of Spot. Spot was in the Spider-Man, and that's kind of like a little nugget there. Yeah. This is a big one.
Yeah, this is a huge nugget.
A big nugget. This is the biggest McNugget you've ever seen. Yeah. But I really think that if you take us kind of personal past experience, preference, whatever, out of it,
Morph makes more sense.
He's a big get.
He's a big get, and this feels like the best way to get him. Would be in this line.
Yeah, because, Blink is essentially starting, those guys. So she's going to need some friends.
Yeah.
And he's an easy, that version of Morph is an easy get for the main line then too. And it holds more comic precedence, which is really what they're...
It's more physically interesting, more costume-wise. nice, bright colors.
Yeah.
It's superhero-ish.
Yeah.
Morph is a training suit, or animated Morph is a training suit in a leather jacket. Mm-hmm. And even then, he didn't wear the leather jacket all the time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to switch his head onto a Cyclops body, remove the... Well, he'd still have the yellow here.
Yeah.
I think that's the big difference is the yellow in the training suit.
Yeah.
But either way, it makes for a nice figure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think X Factor, Cyclops, and Jean. Mm-hmm. A iconic Iceman? Mm-hmm. Is that what we're going to call him?
Iconic, yeah. That's what we haven't had up to this point.
Right. A Psylocke that is easy for a line like this, but also might get people ahead that they would like better for the character that is already in the library, right? And Deadpool, which it's Deadpool, he's going to sell forever. We have more Deadpools in this line now than we have Wolverines.
Yeah.
So and then Morph is just kind of the
Nugget.
Yeah.
And people are probably surprised that we didn't fit a Wolverine into here.
I don't think you need him. I don't think you need him here.
I mean, we saw one in the line already.
Right, we did.
And I'm sure they can fit another one in. But Wolverine seems like he could go anywhere.
Right.
So,
but I think a line that's got or a series that has Cyclops, Iceman, friggin' Deadpool in it. Let's save an anchor Wolverine for something else.
Yeah.
And I think it works.
Yeah, I think all three lines.
I'd buy them.
I'm excited, but that's our list.
But
we came up with the characters.
So
it's like looking at our own listing, going, "Boy, there's some stinkers in there." I would put those in there.
But what I will say is that it's altered a lot, and especially the Vintage Wave 3, that one came together in a way that I never would have imagined, trying to be beholden to a pattern or an execution. So while this isn't me saying these are the top 6 characters that I love the most and want action figures of, so let's shoehorn them into this.
That's true.
There's a little bit more thought to these lineups. Yeah. It's not just wish list.
And going through this just today, I mean, I think about toys a lot. I think about what characters I would like a lot, blah, 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 blah. But doing it like this with very strict guidelines, I have a lot of appreciation for what they do behind the scenes,
right?
A lot more,
and I think it forced us to diversify more than we probably would have.
I don't think I would have picked Dark Avengers, Miss Marvel.
I wouldn't have picked Uncanny X-Force Psylocke, but the thought to get to that for this actually makes a lot of sense and makes me say I want that figure if it got into this line. Yeah. If just for the head. Of
course
Speedball that didn't we
didn't go into the list with Speedball. That came way
not
later.
At all. Way later. He was the last one I think that we added.
We finally went, let's think about Speedball for a second after looking at what's coming and all that. So, huge appreciation for what the guys do.
But this was more of an exercise than what we had anticipated. So this is our list. You are not going to agree with all of it. And that's cool. We didn't get to this just by saying, okay, you pick one, I pick one, and we're going to just pick the guys that we like and that we want to see.
Yeah.
I think there might be a few instances of that. But we came by it honestly and didn't cheat them in there. To do that.
We actually threw out some characters that I really wanted.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
But I'm
dying for a classic Doctor Strange, but you just can't.
No,
you can't make it. I was trying to shoehorn that, and it's like there's too much new that you've got to get to get that.
So a fun little list. Threw it out there.
Yeah.
Into the ether of YouTube and
to be devoured, chewed up, and spat on by you.
Into toy fandom, and that's just us.
Yeah, because it's fun. This is a fun exercise. It's not prognosticating.
No.
It's actually the furthest thing from it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see. I mean, a lot of them make sense in my head at this moment as I'm like, oh, I'm a toy genius.
The white Electra. And I think the X Factor Cyclops are the two to me that for this execution make the most sense.
Yeah.
Because they're no effort from a production standard tooling standpoint, and they have some iconography.
There's a precedent for it in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen it before, so why not do it again?
Yeah, I think those fit here the best. But we came along to some good surprises like
Yeah,
Agony and you know, got to morph. We got to morph fairly well. So likely they'll be announcing more vintage.
Oh, definitely.
And it's not going to look anything like this, but you know, once they do, we'll reset and probably do this again in a year. So
Wishlist. I'll wishlist all day long.
Yeah, we'll probably bring more of them before that time. But
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us again. Catch you where?
On the Fwoosh.
Fwoosh.